Welcome to this episode of the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. I'm a business and LinkedIn coach as well as a luxury brand consultant, and I help business owners take their brands to the next level by implementing my personal techniques when it comes to growing their service, sales, and social media. Over the past 20 years, I've grown multiple brands in the beauty, hospitality, health, and luxury travel markets. I've exceeded all of their expectations, and I'm here to share my tips and tricks on how I did it. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today. And trust me, living with an autoimmune disease is never an easy task. So you can definitely expect some pretty crazy stories shared here as well. Don't forget, the conversations happen after each episode in the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. That's where I'll be every week to answer all of your questions. Now, if you want to hear any of my exclusive news first, just visit thehappyworkaholic.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and be sure to sign up for my weekly VIP newsletter. Now, let's get started with today's show. Hey everyone, it's Kelly from thehappyworkaholic.com, and you are listening to my final episode number 80 of Chapter 1. I almost got you there. I would never end this podcast like that, and I'm just getting started. So I am going to start Chapter 2 in just a couple of days. And the reason why I'm calling it chapters rather than seasons like most podcasters, clearly I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning, it's because originally the Happy Workaholic was going to be a book, and it had to turn into a podcast for a number of reasons. So I've just decided to stick with chapters. And I just turned 40 and I just moved and I'm starting a new chapter in my life. So I thought it just made the most sense. And being a creator, I'm always looking for other ways to stand out in the crowd, let's just say, and be creative and, be different. That's what we all need to do is be ourselves and be different, because that's how we can all stand out and, find others that are just like us. So Chapter 2 is starting soon. So I just wanted to kind of use this episode, number 80. It's the last episode of Chapter 1. Oh my God, I can't even believe this podcast has been 1 year in the making. And I launched my very first episode July 2nd. So it's a full year I've been podcasting, which is insane. And 80 episodes is a lot for me. Some have a lot less, some do seasons, some have a lot more content, but I'm just getting started with the show and I plan to do so much more with it. And I just wanted to kind of fill you in on some things that are closing in my business and some things that are happening in my business, and I'm doing it all for you guys and for the show. So let's dive right in. The first thing I want to share with you is my 6/10 sale, and that is happening until the end of the month. And excuse me, I have such allergies. The 6/10 sale is $610 for 2 months of coaching, so it's over 50% off. It's also for WordPress web designs as well. So if you're looking for a website designed, if you need it in a couple of months, that's fine. You can still purchase at $610, but it has to be before the end of June. So that's the only deal with that. And as far as the coaching, I charge anywhere from $827 to a little bit under $4,000, depending on which level of coaching you need for 1 month. So this is a huge steal if you're looking for a business, LinkedIn, or podcast coach, or a WordPress web design site specifically for your brand. It includes all the branding, and we can definitely get into another conversation about that if you're interested. So if you're still looking for a coach in the month of June and you want to start in July, you definitely are going to want to take part in the 6/10 sale. So to do that, just visit thehappyworkaholic.com and shoot me a message on my website and we can connect this weekend. The next thing I want to share with you is that starting July 1st, I am increasing my pricing. I'm getting busier. I've moved to a different state that's a lot more expensive, and I'm adding a lot more content into my coaching. So with all of those factors involved, it's time for a price increase. So I've sat down, I've gone over my numbers, and I've decided what I want to charge, and I will be uploading those prices by July 1st. So all of my pricing on everything is getting a little bit increased. So I just wanted to give you the heads up on that. And as far as sponsors for this show, I do have quite a few, and you'll be hearing from them shortly. If that is something that you're interested in, getting your name and brand out into, I think I'm at 12 different countries right now, and I'm over 3,000 downloads. So if you're interested in learning more about the demographics, you're interested in becoming a sponsor for this show, I would love to connect with you and just share more about it. You can also visit thehappyworkaholic.com and message me there, and we can hop on a call and chit-chat and see if it's something that would work out best for you and your brand, and if we're a good fit. Something else I wanted to share is something that I've been working on literally since this podcast started, and it's called the I Chose This Life series. And what it is, you can visit my website and find out more about it, but it's basically I am interviewing female entrepreneurs, and they're going to share their story and their struggles and triumphs and how it is that they got to where they are today and why they chose the life that they're living right now. What was that like for them? Like, why are they doing what they're doing today? Do they love it? Do they hate it? Are they making changes? So I have a very full list of female entrepreneurs. Sorry, gents, this is just for the ladies. And I'm going to be interviewing a lot more throughout this next chapter. So I'm super, super excited about that. I've been literally working on this for a year. And it's just timing. Timing is everything. So chapter 2, that is up next. And one other thing I really wanted to share is the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. That is where I'm going to be. That's where the after show happens. That's where Facebook Lives happen. And I'm going to be a lot more involved as chapter 2 begins for this podcast in that group. It's going to be more of a networking and empowering women business group. Obviously, I'm going to be doing Facebook Lives and the after show like I just mentioned, but it's going to be where you're sharing your wins for the day, where you're asking questions about how to, get more traffic to your Pinterest. How do you do something on Canva? What's the best app for my Instagram TV? All of those things. I want to build this community and really focus on that in chapter 2 of this podcast and beyond, obviously. But I'm going to be spending a lot more time in that Facebook group. So if you're not there, you can just visit thehappyworkaholic.com or just search it on Facebook. And it's called the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. So come on over and join us. There's a couple questions that you need to answer before I accept you because, I don't like those spammers up in our group. So be on the lookout for that. If you're interested, I would love to have you in the group. And if you are listening to one of your favorite episodes or somebody shared this show with you, I would really love it if you tagged me on Instagram at The Happy Workaholic so that I can give you a special little present. I have coaching sessions available as my gift to you, complimentary, for taking the time to listen to my show and tag me. So that is my gift to you for those of you that tag me, as well as leaving me a review on iTunes. Those are so, so important to me. I don't have that many, but I do have quite a lot of listeners. And I know that a lot of listeners are not on iTunes. They're listening on Google Play, on Stitcher, on TuneIn, and my RSS feed, and Blueberry, and like so many other places. So they're not able to leave those reviews, which to me is so annoying. I hope that they're able to accept them, or if you're allowed to leave reviews somewhere else soon, because I read all of those. And it really empowers me to keep recording more shows. And it's also advice as well. So if you're listening to a certain show and you'd love to hear more, then you can either visit us in the Facebook group or let me know on iTunes. So those iTunes reviews are so important to me. If you haven't left one for this show yet, I would truly appreciate it if you did. Those help bump up my show so that my content gets out for others to be able to listen to. I'm doing this show for others. I'm sharing my story, my business story, my personal journey with an autoimmune disease, what it's like, how to live with it. I'm sharing all of this for others. It's not for me. I'm giving my voice, and I just want to be able to help others out in the world that are going through something like this, that are on an entrepreneurial journey, such as myself. So again, reviews on iTunes mean everything to a podcaster. So if you haven't left one, please do so and make sure you tag me so I know that you did so. And then I would love to gift you a complimentary coaching session. It would be my absolute pleasure to be able to do that for you. So thank you in advance for doing that for me. I really, really, really would appreciate it. And also, I'm going to be dabbling in more IGTV, Facebook Lives, LinkedIn videos, as well as I just mentioned the I Chose This Life series, Chapter 2. So look out for all of that fun stuff happening. And let's see, what else did I want to share with you guys? I just wanted to honestly do a little recap and just thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for leaving reviews. I've never done a podcast before. The reason why I started it in the first place, as I say a lot, is because I originally was writing a book and I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that could potentially leave me blind and disabled. And I got scared and I didn't know when that would happen. And so I still don't know when and if that could happen. So I started researching, like a little researcher bee that I am, how to do a podcast, how to start a podcast. So I taught myself, and I'm self-taught in a lot of stuff that I coach on, and I've spent hours researching and doing it so that I can help others now. That's why I'm a business coach. And now I've been doing LinkedIn coaching and WordPress web design on the side, but now I'm actually coaching for podcasts as well. So if that's something that you have been having an eye on lately, you want to launch your own podcast, I would love to help you out. It's called Your Podcast Production. That is the name of my new coaching series, which I'm like in love with. I love helping others like from the beginning, just start with their new branding, design their website, come up with their podcast theme, just all that. I started it with mine and now I'm helping others and I'm absolutely loving it. It's so much fun. But I started podcasting because I was afraid I was going to go blind with this autoimmune disease I have. And I immediately just wanted to get what I had in my brain out into the world. So that's why I started mine. That's my story. I mentioned it a lot. I discussed it a little bit on the last show as well. But it's helped my business tremendously. It's gotten my name out into the world of podcasting. Now others are researching my show. People are contacting me. They want to be sponsors for my show. They want to interview me for other shows. And you can be doing exactly what I'm doing, sharing your content and on another platform. I'm sure you're journaling. I'm sure you're writing stuff down all the time. Why not bring your voice out into the podcasting world and share it with others? And don't be afraid just to dive in, because I, for example, never edit my shows. I edit my clients' shows, but I don't edit my shows. I just like it to keep it raw and real, and it really just showcases like who I am. If I talk way too long, I start getting hiccups. So I try to keep it under, side note, that's like a symptom for my autoimmune disease is hiccups. So I try to keep my shows under 30 minutes. The last one was a lot longer, and I started getting them. So I knew, okay, my time is up. I got to make this short and sweet. And so having your own show, you can just put out little snippets, like 5-minute shows. You could do really long shows. You can repurpose your content. If you have YouTube videos you're sitting on Facebook Live, you can make those, you can change those up and create podcasts out of that. You're sitting on so much content. Why not use it and put it on a whole nother platform to grow your brand? That's what my focus was in the beginning. And now it's, kind of switching up because I'm now entering into chapter 2, where I'm going to be doing a lot more with this show. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. But if you guys are looking for any other information about what it is that I do, how I got there, everything you can find out about me is located on my website that I designed, which is thehappyworkaholic.com. My bio is there. All my social media handles are there. My LinkedIn feed is there. All my coaching programs, everything I'm working on, different services I provide. It's just a lot, and I'm going to be changing things as I increase my pricing again, and I'm super excited about it. And sometimes you just need to take the next step into your business and know that it's right for you, and that's what I'm doing. So if you are looking to do something such as me right now, what I'm doing, don't be afraid. Just journal it out and make that SHIT happen, because you can totally do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me on that. But again, thank you guys so much for listening to today's show. It's the last one of chapter 1, which is absolutely insane. This chapter is closing and chapter 2 is about to begin, and it is going to be filled with so many amazing interviews, so many amazing sponsors, a lot more business content I'll be sharing. I'm super, super excited. I can't wait to see more of you in our Facebook group. So if you have any other questions at all, just come on over to my website, thehappyworkaholic.com, and check me out over there. So thanks again for listening to today's show. It means the world to me that you are taking time out of your own life and listening to what I have to say. I cannot wait for chapter 2, and I'm closing the door on this one, chapter 1 and episode 80. Thanks again so much, you guys. I really appreciate it, and I will be talking to you very soon. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you like this episode, please let me know by writing me a review on iTunes for the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I would truly appreciate it. As I always say, sharing is caring. Don't forget, the after show happens after each episode in the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. That's where I'll be to answer all of your questions. Now, just so you know, I have been spending so much more time on my Instagram, and I would love to connect with you over there. You can find me at The Happy Workaholic, and don't forget to tag me when listening to an episode so that I can feature you on my Instagram stories. For any other information regarding the Happy Workaholic, just visit thehappyworkaholic.com. I hope that you are having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again soon.